Welcome to KS1 Gaming, battle reports for miniature war games. Thanks for joining us, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. And here's what you're here for, on with the games. Enjoy!
Good afternoon. Nah, Wigan's as northwest as it gets. Yeah.
Bye. Hello, welcome to the VTC Final 2022 while I'm not on mute. So, this is Mucha Libre versus All Gas, No Brakes. So, a bit of an all-star cast of international players have come together. One of the changes to the VTC after the first year was to allow players to basically just form their teams based on who they want to be playing with rather than by their nationality. So that's pretty cool. It's allowed a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun. All Gas No Brakes are the winners of the first VTC, and Mucha Libre definitely very dangerous contenders to take it this year as well. So as I said,
been there or thereabouts. All two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've been kicking ass and taking names. So I'm Dan. I'm your host. This is KS1 Gaming, and I'm joined again by the lovely Ben Thomas, who I introduced.
I'll say hello again, but people will have heard me.
Yeah,
first
already
time.
said. It's fine. We're good at this stuff. So anyway, so we've got the games have kicked off. I'll go through who's playing on what table, and we can have a little look as we go. So table 1 is Tomasz playing Kruger 2 from Mucha Libre versus Nate with Vale 1. So we've seen that they're basically just deploying. If you watch the earlier games, Tomasz is the one that starts last, ends last. So table 2. So Golly's playing Haley 3.
Haley 3.
An update, I think, yeah. On my notepad. So Haley 3 versus John Henry's playing Madrak 3. That's a lot of shit on the table.
This is this will be the game that has the most dice rolls. I think we know that.
Yeah, I think there's no way to get around that. This is just like a hideous amount of models to deal with for both teams. Like, I'll zoom out as far as I can. Like, yeah, the deployment zone is full. There's no getting around that. So that's table 2. We'll go across to table 3, which is her playing Fiora 4 versus Grant with Zal 2. Look, let's see if we can get that updated properly. Yeah, it's working fine. One update with. And some windows to make sure that it's good. So yeah, this is obviously going to be a bit of a does anyone make a mistake, because both of them are like credible like, I'm just going to kill you if your caster in the wrong spot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
This is going to go table 4. This is the Aurora 1 versus Rask, and they've actually started playing. So let me.
I mean, this is the first game to finish, isn't it? I think we know that.
Yeah. This is basically just everyone is going to just fly across the table and try and just murder each other / save their caster from dying.
It'll be interesting to see if Brad feats bottom of 1. He'll really want not to, but he might.
But he might have to, right? Yeah, because like they threatened so far that this Aurora force, yeah, as we saw yesterday when
Iris 2 got his head cut off.
Yeah, very succinctly. And then we'll jump across to table 5, have a quick check on the last of the games. So this is Daniel Bergstrom playing Siege 1 into Derek playing Vlad 2. Vlad 2 Armored Core. It's very
I love this Vlad 2 list.
Non-standard thing. Everyone's expecting Doom Reavers, and instead you turn up with a fuckload of tanks and big chunky armored guys. So this is again, if you're watching, this is Mucha Libre versus All Gas No Brakes. So I'll go through quickly again. So the Mucha Libre is the name I'll put in first. So it's Tomasz playing Kruger 2 versus All Gas's Nate playing Vale 1. Golly from Mucha playing Haley 3 versus John Henry's Mandrak 3. Per on table 3 is Fiora 4 versus Zal 2. And then table 4 is Justin with Aurora 1 for Mucha Libre, and Rask being played by Brad for All Gas No Brakes. And then last table, this one I've seen Daniel Bergstrom for Mucha Libre with Siege 1, and Derek playing Vlad. So yeah, they're all starting to kick off, some more than others, and as we'll see, as Ben very succinctly put, we've seen how far that Aurora list threatens. If Brad doesn't beat turn 1, you have to do something pretty spicy to protect his army, his everything, right? Quite frankly, have a little nose back. So obviously Brad's just positioning currently, moving forward. I'm just checking the log to see his Rask.
It's one of those, isn't it? I would guess by the fact that he's put Enliven up on the Swamp Horror and Brine, that to me suggests he's not feating, because he's sort of accepting that these front Negation Angels, if they get in, so be it. He doesn't care about them charging the Primal Archon. That's a good exchange, really, for Brad.
There's a Swamp Horror, looks like it's going hella deep as well there at the moment.
No, it's charging. It's
charging in Negation Angel.
Looks like what he's having to go.
It does look like that, yeah. And he'll hook it backwards.
Slight misposition.
And then check. Yeah, there's no swift vengeance that he gives away by doing so. So that's not terrible. But yeah, so let's.
It wouldn't anyway. It wouldn't anyway, because the tentacle would pull in before it kills.
Oh, it does. Right, or does it damage? Has it got a damage roll on it? All part of the attack, it pulls it in. Then you do the damage roll. Either way, he's safe.
Either way, it's fine.
Planned for, but yeah, this is obviously it's only one Negation Angel, but it adds up. And I think what Brad's going to look at doing, by the looks of things, is stick down the Veil of Mist next to the objective here. Put the two primals a little bit further forward. The Swamp Horror will huff it backwards behind the cloud. At which point, there's going to be basically a bunch of stuff can get into the primals, but not really much further. I'm assuming he's taken he's taken Anchor as his objective, Justin. So he's not going to be able to see through the.
I think the Anchor is the better decision. I mean, what you're going to put True Sight on? One Negation Angel. Yeah. It's not like Brad is building a cloud wall. He has a cloud. I don't think he's not even got. Oh, he's got Bellow Cruise. So later on he could put down another, but Anchor will save a heavy from a Swamp Horror potential. So it looks like this has just been proxied. This looks like it's just been proxied out for now. I suspect. For sure.
Let's have a little look through the tables and see how much they managed to get done, basically. So we'll go across to table 1. So this is Kruger 1 versus Vale 1, and they're still deploying. Okay, table 2. So table 2 is actually going. Geez. So as you can see, that's a hell of a lot of trolls running up the table. Guessing is a bunch of Kree Warriors. He's got loads of Kree Warriors, loads of Northkin Raiders, all like intermixed.
Yeah, so no Femblades for John.
He's gone for basically just bulk of
men.
Yeah. Can you get through this many dudes? And like Femblades, obviously threaten further with Vengeance, and they've got stuff like Pathfinder, but out of the mini feat. But he's got a Fellcaller, right? Does he really need it too much? And obviously Madrak just makes everyone he wants to Weapon Masters. So it's not like the hitting power is going to be lacking.
He does, but he definitely misses out on the threat range.
Yes, yeah.
And that for me is because that's not something Madrak can fix, and so he is looking at 5, 8, 9-inch threat on the Creel Warriors, as opposed to sort of 13, 14 on a Femblade. Femblade's also a lot better at sort of tying up ranged infantry, so they could. In this matchup, I don't doubt John will probably wish he had Femblades, but it's still so many 5 up and then for feet turn 4 up tough models for Dolly to get.
Like if you're watching and you've not played into Madrak 3, as he is now, like consider yourself lucky. It is brutal. Like the feat is so oppressive in how, and like there's various combinations of how people are playing the lists. Some are playing with like a unit of champs, a unit of Tuffalos, a unit of Femblades, and then and then basically a combination of a second unit of one or the other, and obviously and Creel Warriors, and it's just like the sheer weight of numbers and the fact that the 4 tough and the move is just it's ball breaking, but so
it is normally it's normally pick 3 units of Femblades, Tuffalos, Champions. Now what John's done instead is he's got the 4th unit by taking the cheaper Creel Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's shuffle across. This is just going to be a lot of trolls running, so we'll see how the rest of the games are progressing. So over on table 3 this is Menoth versus Skorne. So we've seen that Skorne has just sort of run up, spread out quite nicely, also make sure not giving up anything early, and Per's basically just countering it. There's not very big threat ranges here from Skorne for him to worry about, unless he wants to particularly run an Arcanode up and get something cheeky.
No, it feels like he was just having a quick look at that and probably has decided against it. I thought for a second that was a devout, which, given the spell assassination that Zal can put out, would have been a useful little piece to have in this matchup, but it's
not.
it doesn't feel like. So what we saw yesterday for those who were watching was in the Ostrom against Zal 2 game was Ostrom had an explosive turn in which he killed
a lot of guys.
A dozen or so guys.
Yeah, so we saw Zal starting his turn on 14 Fury, I think it was.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it didn't quite go to plan, but it definitely will have been a very scary moment for the Ostrom player as Zal is Thunder Spiriting him like multiple times.
But this Menoth list doesn't feel like it's going to operate in the same way. It's going to be sort of kill the Immortals that lets him get to the Guardians.
Yeah.
And then sort of grind through it a bit slower. The Templars are real tough lads. So
let's have a quick look at the list. So Per's this year, so he's got a Hierophant, a Crusader, a Redeemer, 3 Templars, and a Revenger, and then 2 Vassals of Menoth, Order, Sebi-Zero with a Reckoner, Elias Glade, Vassal Mechanic, Living Covenant, and Anastasia for that scenario cut in. So yeah, there's not like there's not, I don't think, enough shooting power to just blow up the Supremes, but there's definitely enough shooting power to make those Templars to go forward, and the Crusader to go forward. So we'll see basically if he can have a nice angle in, but he's going just in quite far, further than a lot of Menoth lists manage sometimes.
But with their 8-inch runs.
Yeah, exactly. Those Menoth legs are not built for the sprints. Thanks for the thanks for the follow. Too much coffee painting. Someone's just asking, are there any other channels? The Loth Carrion over on Iron Grudge is covering the John Henry match, so the Haley 3, Madrak 3. I don't know if anyone else is streaming into it. I'm just going to be jumping a lot. Good way to go. Right, so let's have a look at the table 4, and it's in fact let's jump straight to table 5 first to see how they've how they've progressed, and then we can see how Aurora's sort of out. So this is Siege 1, Vlad 2, and on Siege turn at the moment.
Yeah, so this is top of 2 for Siege.
Yeah. Refugees in chat saying you can't take Femblades in Storm of the North. It's Storm of the North he's taken the Madrak 3 list. Okay, that's a bit different than ones we're seeing over here then.
All troll things look the same to me.
It is in Storm of the North, yeah. So I found it more scary in Band of Heroes just from like being able to just deny all the tough rolls, the ones that I've been seeing over in the UK.
Yeah, same.
So good reason not to take Fens. Can't take Fens, but I guess it protects him against a bunch of like quite nasty lists that are all about the cold sprays. Doesn't have to worry about that obviously with the theme.
I suppose there's a lot of crossover, and it does that. It means you can take Raiders. I'm not a huge fan of them on the whole, but I don't think they're available in Band.
I don't know, but I know they're like £80 for a box of them for some reason. so no one plays them pretty much. They're the most overcosted unit, like currency wise rather than game wise.
Yeah,
I know no idea. But so this looks like obviously Siege is just sort of positioning. Going to see what work gets done or how far things go up next turn. Let's jump.
Some things happen because the vengeance has been triggered on the Democore. One of the Democores on one box, which presumably what's done that then.
Yeah.
Storm Strider, maybe? I don't know. I can't work out what shot.
Nemo,
maybe Siege himself has gone.
Maybe. He's got Defender. Has the Thamrite managed to get some work done? That was what was moving just as we came onto the page.
Yeah, it was. But if that Thamrite there, he's dead.
Yeah, I'd say so. But it's like Derek's got an awful lot of armor and an awful lot of boxes to chew through, and then like sure, Siege's feat's going to be pretty bad, but like going to be able to get enough of them. But that's the question.
But also it's not the best feat. This is not the great target for a Siege feat because you are halving a number. Say you got shield. Say take the shield wall shock troopers.
Yeah.
For example, under Vlad's feet, even where you're halving their 16 or whatever their base armor is.
Yeah, but
then
adding
4 like for shield wall,
and then adding through 3 from the feet.
3 for feet.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And if you don't kill it on the first shot, well, you're definitely not going to kill it on the second shot because you're no longer armor piercing it. We'll see how this is going to be really interesting to see how it pans out. Let's jump across to the table 4 then. So we're over to Justin's turn. So Aurora is looking at options, and obviously is proxying out whether or not the primal on the right is going to do a nice juicy counter charge or where it's.
Well, I think what this is that's probably Justin seeing how far the Archon could get before he gets to the wall.
Yeah.
As a sort of absolute maximum. So I didn't feat, but he kept everything well back as we commented on before, leading with the primals.
I think it's definitely the right choice. If he'd feated this turn, I think Justin just waits. He just shuffles around a bit, passes the clock back over, and goes, "You've spent all this time positioning. I'm going to spend half the time just shuffling some wings around, and then waits to come in next turn where you've got no defense." So I think definitely a sign of Brad's experience there. Match.
Yeah, so he's got a well positioned 15-inch threatening swamp horror.
Yeah.
That Justin has is no doubt Justin's number one, and then another 13-inch threatening swamp horror, not as aggressive in the one that's in the battle group itself.
Yeah, but... and obviously Brian goes a metric mile too, right?
Yes.
So there's
those famous metric miles.
Yeah, the metric mile, right? While we're talking of make believe things, let's just around a bit. But yeah, this looks a little bit like Justin's just gonna do essentially what I said. If Brian defeated, right, he's gonna shuffle things around, try to make sure he's not going to give up too much stuff to the really nasty pieces that are going to be able to dig in, and potentially just put in like the negation angels in the way in really awkward spots where they're going to do nasty things like give the death archons, right, and Hypatia righteous vengeance.
Yeah,
because that makes it ridiculous.
I think in some ways the key thing for me from Justin's turn here is position the negation angels in such a way that the swamp horror is going to get to them to do what he wants, but if you can position them far enough back that not necessarily where the swamp horror has to go that's important, but where does Barney have to go?
Yeah,
because Brad will feat on turn 2. There's almost no question about that. Yeah. So it's trying to at least force Barney forward, but the walking threat.
Yeah,
the walking threat of this Aurora list is insane. So it's finding a way to sort of leverage that.
Yeah. Lord Rocker said it's Siege. I'm not sure which. We know it's so Temple 5 is Siege Vlad. If I'd said something wrong, then it's definitely Siege 1. So Daniel is playing Siege 1 versus Derek's Vlad 2 on 5.
Yes.
But this frustrum is coming. Oh, I was going to say this frustrum is coming quite far forward. Oh, it's not. so we'll start at table 1. We'll start cycling through the games and see. Let's see if Thomas is actually deployed. He's gone. He's off. We're off to the races. There's some very far forward models like Typhon and the Angel. This stuff. What's this stuff on the Scythian is just behind? Is that Quicksand?
I would guess so.
It looks a little bit like someone's like laid a ghost turd on the table. Maybe you'll have to look at the player pack to see exactly what it's meant to be. Sure, I've got the player pack open. So, is it just me? Ghost turds, I think.
One interesting change that we are seeing have an effect here is the fact that the well can no longer spit out a gallows growth
because it's just a tree, which is living.
It's not a living model, so you saw Nate there sort of measuring out where this gallows grove on the right could get to, where a Walled Warden could PK and trample to make sure his stuff's safe.
Yeah.
Previously, before the update, you would also have to watch out for
for where the well spitting one out and then it porting forward 5 inches and then being able to PK or
and then arcing from there. I am delighted that that's something you don't have to think about anymore with Kruger.
The only sad thing about it is that it's made the Grimkin tree not a living model too, so you don't get a corpse from it when it dies. And
disagree. I think that's fine.
That
thing is good enough.
Well, it means it doesn't get affected by mortal fear either, so it's not a bad trade-off when the Death Archons abound. But we can see here that very much Nate's going into very forward position. This is turn 1, right? So Thomas hasn't gone yet at all. He's just piling as far forward as he can.
You've got to against Kruger. You've got to take that table to not let him just have free reign.
You've got to commit. You don't want to risk him just going, oh hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, job done.
Yeah, interestingly, in terms of the Kruger matchup, this is one of the scenarios that's got a really nicely placed objective. So you can you can get that anchor pretty much. You can see that the Nate's got a lot of options as to where to put anchor next turn. It could go on any of those 3 heavies based on what the board situation is looking like.
Yeah. The only thing he needs to think about is whether or not he wants to slipstream one of those heavies and not anchor that one. And,
yes. Anchoring stuff you yourself meant to place is just one of those mistakes that you just see every now and again, and
you're like Typhon sort of going perhaps just to the side of this building, doing a bunch of sprays, and then wants to be slipstream back, so he's completely hidden. If you give that up, it's pretty sad. Obviously,
anchor on the Wanderer is the best one I've ever seen.
It's just like have you just signed your own death warrant? Like your entire survival plan relies on you holding on to your Arcana and going, "I'm invincible." And if you can't go and sit on your road marker 6 inches back when stuff comes in for you, well, So
it's worth popping to table 2, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tom should just start going forward. I think he's just going to have to be a little bit cagey about where he places stuff to make sure he doesn't.
We're gonna have enough time to spend on this game once everyone else is finished.
Well, look at this. Look at that. Look at that table. Beautiful. Like that is a chunk of models. So Golly's remembered to do Haley things before the trenches this time. He was lamented about it earlier. How when we jumped into the game yesterday and there was a load of trenches in the clouds.
I was wondering where that had gone wrong.
It's because he'd forgotten that he needed to do the Haley thing first. So the trenches couldn't repo out of the clouds. I would assume this is just going to be John's turn where he just runs everything for
looks
and feats. Runs everything, makes just an unbreakable bunker around Madrak. Make sure there's some escape avenue for him. Nothing's going to be able to go in over the top and stuff. Something at least. But yeah, gives him an out. But basically, the rest of it is throwing at least one of these units, 2 of these units in the face of everything that Cygnar's got, and then going, can you deal with these? Otherwise, they're dealing with.
I think it's worth now a brief discussion on this scenario. Is that it looks like one similar to a couple of the others that's fairly dead, fairly slow to take up, and it can be. But it's a scenario that you can lose very quickly on that flag. So on your opponent's flag, if they stick a solo on there and you've got, as Golly is about to, 50 models between you and it, that flag can tick up turn on turn very quickly. And if you're only scoring your flag on your turns and your opponent's scoring that flag on both turns, that game can be lost real quick.
And even when you look at stuff like under feet, right, is enough of these trolls going to be? Are enough of these trolls going to be able to be removed, or are they all going to be there next turn as well? Not sure if this has got to be bottom
top of 2.
Top of 2, you think? Yeah. So I think John went first. Based on how far Haley stuff is, So
I mean, this is to an extent how good is John at rolling 4+.
Oh yeah. This is
what he's accidentally done here is. So he's accidentally confirmed Madrak's move. So Madrak isn't actually there yet. He proxied out where Madrak was going to go.
He's just on the shortcuts to confirm the entire.
He's on the confirm.
They're good players. They're going to know what they're doing, and it's not a thing that you can't.
Oh, there's 2 Madraks on the table now, anyway. So.
Right. Yeah. So the one is the clone of where he'll end up, basically. Yeah. An easy enough way of doing it, which is kind of sort of the same thing we saw yesterday, right, with Kalissa, where she was it was pre-marking feats and going, this is the intention.
Pop the feet token on.
But yeah, like as we've said, this is going to be one of these games where, one of these armies, right? If you can't roll tough, or if you get tilted when you can't roll enough toughs, don't play trolls. But if you can roll that 4 up a lot, then watch your opponent go red in the face and stick this army down, because that's what will happen. It's very tilting. But like I can also imagine being a troll player and just not consistently rolling the tough, and you're just like, I've just like my game's lost because of this. So it's always a dice game with this army, right?
I mean, the other thing with this, not only the tough, is with Defender's Ward, those trolls are defense 15. Admittedly, I mean, it could well get repudiated off. There's every chance, but until it does, it's going to... What I think it does as much as anything is because temporal flux is going to be needed, because repudiate is going to be needed.
Yeah.
Really forces Haley's order of activation.
Yeah. And how much...
which is already going to be painful enough.
Yeah, and how much he's left on too, right? Because there's a couple of shield guards. There's a couple of like dangerous range elements. Bomber, obviously Madrak's got here. In fact, that might be the end to it. And obviously, he's got... yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. He doesn't have to worry too much, I think. Right. So, we'll let John continue to jam trolls into Cygnar's face and jump across to table 3.
Sweet.
Table 3 is the Menoth Skorne match. So not a lot seems to have happened at the moment. Grant looks like he's just sort of where he wants to go in.
So this very much looks like from Grant. This is a I don't want to feat this turn kind of move. So these models they're not moving far. He's chucked a solo on his flag to force something forward, because this is sort of where I'm talking about this scenario. There are no cheap things in this Menoth list to go and contest that flag every turn.
Yeah, and it's Abadan who comes back anyway, right? So he dies.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Whereas Grant can throw one immortal within 4 inches of that flag every turn and not really care.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Fiora's got to commit something a bit more substantial.
Positioning wise, I'm 100% with you. I think this is definitely a case of pushing forward as much as he absolutely needs to, without being able to feat. So next turn, he can just do basically a similar thing that John Henry's just did, a ball busting feat where everything just floods into these zones and you get some serious work done, and then is very defended against counterattack. Really strong position.
Yeah, I'm just having a brief thought, actually, because I'm not 100% certain on where the Immortal Souls rules are at the moment. So obviously Fiora's going to try and set a load of stuff on fire.
Yeah.
And then and then try and sort of kill with the damage from the feet. Now, do they? So it wouldn't be an attack from her feet damage.
Yeah.
Will that still get the souls going?
I think it is damage from because the damage is from the feet rather than it being like from an existing thing. So it sets them on fire. They also suffer an ambush from fire.
So enemy models within 3 inches of one or more warjacks in a control range suffer an unboostable PAL 13 fire damage roll and the fire continuous effect.
Yeah. So the question is,
for me, it's not come from attack.
Does it come from an enemy model? Does it come from an attack? Yeah. It's I'm guessing there's a ruling on there somewhere. I don't actually know. If it doesn't, then that's pretty funky for her to be able to do. Set a lot of the immortals on fire, not trigger vengeance.
It definitely doesn't trigger vengeance. That much is for sure.
Yeah. So that seems like it's a good way out, I guess. If you had a dervish, I'd feel much better about it. To be able to really like dig deep to do it to a really important position. We'll see how much is on fire. Basically at the end of Grant's next turn, I think is.
I would say more like this, because the problem is the heavies have got to get there.
Yeah,
and they only run 10 inches.
Oh yeah, I mean, not this turn. I mean, at the end of Grant's next turn, I think that's when we'll be seeing. I don't think Per's going to feat this turn. It'll be a wait it out again. One of these feats chicken sort of games is fair. Right, so
it is just
Oh, sorry.
It's Soul Taker Gatekeeper for certainly. I've just brought up the Ancestral Guardian card, which is just when a living friendly model is destroyed. So they, even if they die to the feet, they die to the fire. Those souls will still
get it. Yeah. I think it gathers everything. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look. See how the standoff between Aurora and Rask is looking. The answer is there's a bunch
Justin has backed right off.
Yeah, there's a bunch of servitors who don't matter at all, and and not much else. The Steel Sword Protector's there, scoring the flag, and obviously has defensive strike. So whoever comes in, try and remove it if it's not ranged. Going to get the chance to hit it, unless it's a Swamp Horror, obviously.
The bit of positioning that I really love here is these 2 Servitors 2 and 3 and the Death Archon number 2. So if something goes, so the Primal Archon can't get them because certainly number 2 is more than an inch away from the backside of that wall.
Yeah.
So the Swamp Horror would have to go and kill those. Fine, not a problem. But when they die, the Death Archon is 5 inches away from both of them.
Yep. So the Death Archon gets Righteous Vengeance. Which means that it just goes wherever it wants the next turn, pretty much. And if you
not quite under Brad's feet, not as much as it can, but
pretty far, right? And then if you look at here, by killing the Steel Soul, he'll also give Righteous Vengeance to Hypatia, who's tucked behind the Swabbers. So she'll just walk 3 inches over the top of stuff and hit anything there. Walk over, then apparate another 2 inches. So basically get 5 inches of movement before even takes her turn. So she will also go a metric mile, as we discussed. Yeah, I think giving her vengeance, I think she tots out at what she's 3, 5, and she's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Does it go higher?
I think.
I think 19, which is plenty good into melee.
What Brad's measuring out here with this Swamp Horror is he's looking to try and get some of these Negation Angels, which will be great. And this is what I was saying earlier when we were last at this game. Because it doesn't necessarily matter where that Swamp Horror can get to. He can get wherever he wants to be.
Yeah.
What matters more is where does Barney have to be
in order to get work done.
To be there. Now, it could be that Brad sort of moves his absolute maximum threat, which is 11, and then sort of kills some and overtakes back a little bit, puts Enliven on that beast, and then actually puts Hoofit onto Barney himself to let Barney get back at the end of the turn, maybe into this trench, to somewhere where hopefully undefeated he's safe.
Yeah, it means that Barney can only walk then, though, right? So if he's running or failing a charge, he doesn't get to Hoofit back anymore.
True, but he's fast enough. So he's certainly fast enough. I've clicked on now. He's 13.6 away from the current shown position of the Swamp Horror. So I'm pretty sure he's speed 6, so he can get that within the 8 inches now.
Yeah, or just like sort of perch him behind this wall and maybe move the Archon up to basically protect him and block him. And having gobbers to block landing zones, where Negation Angels aren't great at going over walls, just because the reach element. So you could potentially just protect him there. Isn't terrible, sure. But yeah, there's very, very, very carefully choosing where things are going. But it's or potentially
this is looking like another turn of Brad picking up what he can and then staying safe. This turn, I would imagine that it is under feet, because he does now have to start thinking about contesting these zones a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. But like if he goes up there and gets the Steel Soul off, is this turn 2? This is top of 2, I think.
No, this is bottom of 2.
Bottom of 2. Okay, so Brad could be scoring if he gets the primal. Has primal got 1 inch?
Normally, yes, but he could elasticity with the Swamp Horror.
So between the Primal and the Swamp Horror, if they can kill the Steel Sword Protector to stop it from scoring, kill those 2 Negation Angels, he can score his flag and the zone.
which isn't
good start. A good start on a game that's potentially gonna be very cagey. All right, let's have a little nose, see how the other games are going. So table 5. This is Siege 1, Vlad 2. Oh, and there's a definite absence in the middle of the table where once there were shock troopers. Yeah.
And Demo Corps are both dead.
That's a lot of stuff. Let's assume we've missed Siege's feat.
Sorry, Cygnar fans.
Cygnar fan, you've had enough of watching Cygnar win over the years. Surely there might be like a million Haley streams, to look at. But yeah, this looks like a significant chunk of Derek's armies being taken off the middle.
So it's a min unit of shock troopers and a max unit of Demo Corps and a lot of a Marauder as well.
Yeah, and then we've got like all the tankers, Krakens are out on the flanks. Both of those.
Yeah. So the question now for Derek is, can those solos win the game? And they are really good.
Yes,
but I don't know that they are good enough to win the game.
Yeah, it's a huge chunk gone, right? Not just I think it's safe to say that was that core, the center. I assume Derek thought would be able to chin wherever he threw at him, or at least without giving up them all.
No, because you can see as well. So he mini-feated for the Band of Brotherhood. You can see where the purple unit of mechanics here is positioned, that were presumably ready to go up and
chop them up, basically.
Put them back together again.
But there ain't nothing to put back together. It's like, oh
no.
Daniel is like, I think Daniel's pretty much like renowned as like the siege one trick for a long time.
He's a superb player. He's one of these people that does what I can never do and just plays a caster.
Yeah, I knows exactly like the limits that caster and the list you brought with you can attain. And it turns out the limit is a lot of dead Khador.
Yeah. So the thing to note is that was of course Siege's feat turn.
Yeah.
And not Vlad. So Vlad still has his feat.
Yes, and all of these super solos are gonna just go through the roof under feet. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see. That's basically going to determine it. Is does he? Okay, so he's feated now. So we're now adding feat tokens to the tank, basically to the strike tanker, suppression tanker, Draken tanker. Yeah, the Kovnik. It's basically everyone you expect. Go in and kill whatever it can. Yeah. And we'll see.
So the Draken number 2 hasn't got it because he's out of control.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I imagine he's just eyeing up that Thamurite Archon anyway.
I think his work is going to be smash into a Thamurite and maybe impact attack a wall on the way through.
Possibly not. I'd imagine you'd want to put the +3 mat mana war into the Thamurite Archon. I mean, the Dracoon normally should hit it, but that Dracoon can go and, I don't know, beat up a Firefly a bit or something.
Yeah. He's definitely got a good amount of options of where everything's going. And we've got over on the left side, it's Finn, Cormier, and a Mangler in the zone.
There's a Mangler, yeah.
The question is, are they gonna be able to still be there at the end of? I mean, that Marauder's looking pretty beaten up. Lost its left arm.
But there's also
a lot of mechanics. Yeah,
mechanics who've got all their mana war bits ready and are quickly putting them away and getting.
Yeah, they're like I guess we just like completely heal this Warjack instead. At least you got a. Yeah, if there ever is a list that's brought enough healing to make sure your jacks are still going to be going if they haven't been.
But again, it's a bit like Daniel's positioning, so that Mangler is 10.1 away from that Marauder, so he can't get there.
Yep.
Vlad has decided he's bored of terrain now, so he's wind blasting off most of the terrain on the board.
Yeah, and crucially as well, stops any guns. So if he's sticking down there, even if this stuff does survive, it's not going to be making guns unless it gets out. And I assume there'll be...
especially relevant for Triumph, because Triumph doesn't get his maintenance phase shot.
His aim and his maintenance stuff. And I assume there'll be some Khador shit in their faces. But it just means that absolutely like denying him and just making it really, really hard to get any work out of these guys. If depending on what state they walk out of this turn in. Here goes the first of the charges, the suppression tanker. Yeah, how much get done? What are you thinking? The Thamite Archon has got to be toast, right? And then how many of these central jacks?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this suppression tanker is going for Kane.
Oh, where's Kane? Oh, right, yeah, the Kane is 10 inches away. And the Kane's got the Firefly, or Kane's got... Oh, no, Kane will have Triumph, right? Got the bond with Triumph?
No, it's Siege has got the bond with Triumph.
Oh, right, so maybe it is the...
I would imagine Kane's got the Firefly.
We'll have a quick check. The list.
So, yeah, so the focus has gone off Kane, so it does look like
he's definitely in shot. Yeah, Kane's got the Firefly. Yeah, absolutely. And the Mangler's on Nemo. Everything else is. Let's see.
Yeah.
So bit of clock.
Yep. So there goes Kane.
Nice. Kane's gone, which means the Firefly is now inert, which means it's not contesting.
It does.
Could be an easy clear of both. If Daniel could clear both zones here, both zones, and score his flag, and obviously there'll be nothing left on the left objective potentially. So yeah, going up 3-0 this turn isn't bad. Oh hello, yeah, and there go the Thrall Warriors. So
it's just these suppression tankers. It's why I loved it. I played Derek a week or so ago with this list, and it's why I love it so much. Is that these suppression tankers with +3 rat? And that plus rat is something you just don't appreciate as part of his feat, because normally with the more standard
it's just you expect them to just speed up, charge into you, and hit you.
Hit you harder.
Yeah.
Whereas the little the +3 mat on the suppression tankers is so good, so good.
This is zoom up a little bit for a bit of a better view of this one. So I wonder if Derek is going to go for both zones, his flag, and Behemoth just shoots the objective to death. Goes 4-0 up, and that's a pretty good turn, especially when all these super solos are going to be so resilient to what's coming back at them.
I'll tell you what I'd love to see, and obviously can't, and I think it is based on the numbers. I think this Gunmage Captain Adept gets clipped by the blast on the objective. So that'd be another little thing just ticked off the list.
Yeah, another solo off this, and obviously Siege will take some damage, and be maybe a little bit more worried about his positioning if he's taken some good rolls off.
Especially now, so Siege's gun is now far less potent because he no longer has fire for effect.
Yeah.
So that taking Kane out is huge.
Really big play. Oh, is a dodging Archon.
No, I think what that is if the impact attack misses,
and he can't dodge out of melee.
It can't dodge out of. So shall we leave this one for a little bit?
Yeah, let's have a little look at it. So we're on table 5. So let's just jump back to the start then and have a little nose and see how the Krug Veil one stuck in. I love the lightning storm that is in the right hand
side. That's amazing.
Okay, so
we're easily pleased, aren't we?
Yeah, this is like Yeah, ask your dads. Why? No. So this is a very forward-looking Typhon. Spraying
rolling some very
rolling bad dice. Yeah, I'm guessing he's trying to take out the Death Archon.
And the arc node. So there's some real key.
Yeah.
Is it a spray 10?
Is it spray 8? I think it's a spray 8.
Yeah.
If it's a spray 8,
so it was
fine. He takes out the arc node at least.
Yeah. Oh, but these are uninspiring rolls on
these are. Yeah, Nate is definitely rolling very flat here. Definitely needs to go and change his dice. This is apparently turn 1. I'm not sure I believe it. Once again, as we were with yesterday, this is why I've changed the overlay slightly. I don't know if you watched the first game yesterday. I've given up trying to track their CPs and the turn. Because if the players can't update bad admin. But, yeah, if the players can't update their turns and their CPs, then I've got no fucking chance. We just gotta look at the board state and guess. One easy thing, right, is let's have a look. The objective is on 15 boxes, so yeah, looks like it could be Nate's second turn, top of 2.
I think
based on where Thomas's stuff is, I think that's where we're at. So he's put in the sprays to kill the tree, and now he's just seeing where it's going and damage onto the Bald Warden. An okay amount? Oh, a very okay amount, right? It's down to 9 boxes, so it's only got his spirit left currently. But obviously, he's got some stone shapers, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got some healing ability to pick back up if he doesn't die. So Hermit's Mad Vision's damage roll.
Yeah, presumably the last spray.
I assume it's just trying to save this being completely taken off the table. Which is good. Obviously, you only got so many. You've only got so many Geomancies in this. Got to protect them. Don't understand why Circle gets such a good range of stuff with. Oh yeah, you can just take these beasts. They can all do it. It's fine.
I mean, there's only 2 in this list, so it is a bit more.
There is, yeah. It's fairly balanced, but is that because he's taken the bloody werewolves that can get to power 29 or something? It's like, yeah, I'd go for a balance between the two, because if your stalkers and your pure bloods and your ferals can hit and destroy Siege 1 blockaders under feet with Arcane Ward on them, well, probably don't need that many.
No.
Yeah, shake it up a bit. So this looks like obviously a good removal of the Arc Node.
Man, just go to table 2.
We jump into table 2. This is, oh my god. Welcome to the Cygnar Troll War. You can read about this in Privacy Press novels. This is an epic 7-part series book where the troll can rise against the evil Cygnar oppressors, and holy crap, that board full of a lot of dude things. I have honestly never seen a war table or a map look so covered in shit, unless someone's been proxying the world. That looks bonkers.
It's nice. It's nice to know that war table can handle it.
Yeah. Very robust. I think if from those of us that are from the before days where we had Vassal, if you wanted to play games with people remotely, which was really good. It was led the way, but God, yeah, war table just gives us so much. It's so well done. So thank you, Lars. Obviously, I think the VTC have put in donations every year towards.
I believe so.
War table. I think and Conflict Chamber. The list building tool, which is just browser based if you haven't seen it, which is supported now by a bunch of community.
My big problem with this game at the moment is that I'm trying to sort of scroll around the map for it a bit to see what's going on. Yeah. But there's barely anywhere you can click.
Yeah. Yes, there is a lot of. So you're looking basically at the moment of like scattergunners from the commandos are getting a bunch of shots where they're going to rinse through multiple trolls at the same time, but they're not always going to be killing, even forcing the tough checks in the first place. Oh hello, and there we go. Oh, is he just about blocked it? Yeah, there's no 4-inch move over the wall for that guy.
So one thing, sort of linking back to what we said. So before we came to this, obviously Haley has cast Temporal Flux,
yeah,
and has repudiated off the Defender's Ward,
yeah,
as well.
So Haley is sat on 2, but like it's sat on 2, but there's not a lot of distance between her and a lot of trolls. Like she's like 2 inches away from some of the trolls. Yeah, Major Prime is the caster herself, right? Baby's up forward.
Yeah, that's right. You can see that.
Yeah, Haley Pass. Haley Pass is just next to the Creel Warrior leader, and Haley Future is in the left zone. Yeah, because like if Golly can't remove enough of the trolls, like how much more can Madrak's got a tactician, right? These guys are all going through each other, aren't they?
No, it's only Madrak 1, I think.
Oh, is it? Check. That's big, right? If that's not the case, because he's going to be just shoving things like into ridiculous positions. If so, Madrak 3 is Madrak Ironhide Thornwood Chieftain. Madrak 1, Madrak the Great Chieftain is now 3. No, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he does not have that. That's one thing, right? So doesn't have to worry about the back line coming through the front line and then clearing out the stuff, and then the front line just going into everything else.
No, he doesn't get to play easy mode Warmachine, which is what I've always attested.
Yeah, which is no offense to the Infernal players that are no longer playing Infernals, but that's what they had it. They had it super easy mode, right? It was make your own heavies every turn, and don't have to worry about where you put shit on the table. And I can see once you've had that drug, if it gets taken away, you might not want to play that army anymore. But yeah, I think it's also a painted shot. So yeah, so here we go. Over on the right again, we've got some more scattergunners launching their sprays.
Just doing what they can.
Yeah, getting some decent rolls. Right, so I'm gonna step away in a minute, but let's have a little look at a different table first to not leave you looking at this cluster of troll Cygnar.
Yes, I appreciate that.
So table 3 is the Zal game. This looks pretty cagey, right? Zal has feated.
He has feated, and for a game state in which it does not look like an attack has been made yet, Grant has used half his clock.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a good chunk of time has been off the no cap.
And that's so. Clock being switched back and forward a little bit. So, effectively, I'm not sure what this. Oh right. Oh, so no. I was wrong with where I thought this game was. So where this game actually is that the clock has, I think, just fairly recently been passed to Grant, and now Grant is beginning his turn. I assume Zal activated first, feated, and now it's
now I think is piling forward. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's how much work they can do. How angry is Fiora? Fiora is 4 angry. So
pretty angry. Well, let's quickly cycle through the other two games and see if there's any juicy stuff happening. Then I'm gonna step away and order takeaway.
Yep.
Such is the life today. So this is the Aurora Rask game. So as we can see, the left zone has been cleared. The Steel Zone Protector has been taken off the flag, and the contested models from Brad's own flag have all been cleared out. So
I do wonder what killed those actually. The Swamp Horror's got a load of fury on him, but I'm not sure what.
It's got
from. Oh, maybe did. Nothing's enlivened. I suspect Quark might have gone up and venomed them.
Just done some double sprays.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Rask might have shot one himself. Rask
is
incredibly strong gun.
Oh
yes, and
he's got an immense gun. Yeah, Rask has featured, and stuff's going to just be. And here we go. This is a hoof it movement from. Bit movement from the Swamp Horror, which means that it'll be turning over to Aurora's turn in a minute. So Brad's used a good chunk of time, but has killed like some important models, and most importantly, has gone up on scenario by 2. So Justin's got to really commit. Obviously, this is the turn he's going to really want to be committing anyway. That Archon on the right, the Death Archon is going to vengeance forward. A Hypatia is going to vengeance forward. So we're going to see things going deep. Obviously, not be able to charge. So it's just going to rely on can he hit stuff hard enough? Can he hit stuff hard enough? Break through without charging. Do you want to watch this one for a minute with the viewers? Or do you want to
leave me on this one.
I will be back.
I'll give some inaccurate thought.
I'll be back in a minute and see how Aurora's getting on.
So I've played a little bit of Convergence. I've played not played Aurora 1 very much, but played a decent chunk of Aurora 2, and I think that Justin needs to be really careful how hard he commits here. You have to accept Rask's feat is essentially going to be a time walk, and that's pretty painful. Now, with Justin being we're 2-0 down on scenario, it's how much does he want to do? So I suspect we're going to see this Death Archon that's currently vengeancing now sort of step on over that wall to where he can get the Death Archon, the River Raider, and Lanissa, and then hopefully I'm just trying to check where Aurora is. Aurora's quite a long way away, but Aurora will presumably get her feet up so that Death Archon is covered within it to allow that Archon to get over the wall. Now, this is a counter charge that has been triggered, and this is a problem, I think, for Justin. Now, in some ways, it makes this Primal Archon easier to kill, which is good in a way. It means this sort of back Death Archon, which wasn't otherwise going to do very much, can now potentially get into it. But it does take out the Frustrum Locust, and it looks like Brad has not taken that counter charge. So the rest of the sort of vengeance moves are coming on up. So it will be effectively, I suspect, Justin trying to tidy up the stuff on this right-hand flank, and then repoing back behind this wall with the Death Archons, chuck Mortal Fear up, and hopefully stop the other pieces that are going to be over there, sort of your Boom Howler and the Rask's Swamp Horror doing too much back. Now, what you can see Justin's looking at here is he's putting this 4-inch AoE down on his Frustrum Locust before he moves it, so that he can see if, as I think Brad is looking at now, or Justin, one of them, if this Primal Archon then does do the counter charge with the 4-inch AoE of knockdown, it's making sure that doesn't knock both of the Frustrum Loci over. I personally, I don't know why. I'm not sure why Justin's felt the need to move both of these up so aggressively, because this guy is now out for the turn. Knocked down during his own turn, obviously, is not a position anyone wants to be in. It does open up the possibility for this Toro to get into the Primal Archon, potentially freeing the Death Archons up to do other stuff, but... And the Frustrum Loci weren't going to do much else this turn, realistically. They are just little gun guys, and they weren't going to have any shooting targets, really, without moving up fairly aggressively. But we'll see. We'll see if the positioning of these is beneficial. I'd possibly been tempted once the first one had moved and Brad declined the counter charge on the first one to sort of cut your losses there and not offer the counter charge on the second one. Means you'd still get some decent work done with Frustrum Locus number 1 and not suffer the... I mean, it's 70% dead now and dies to anything at this point, the second one. But I've Justin's played this list and understands this list far, far better than I do. So we'll see what his sort of plan is to deal with the sort of new positioning of the Primal Archon that he's got to deal with. Other than that, on the left-hand side, I think the main aim is going to be trying to find a way to, number one, definitely deal with this Primal Archon, and then try and do some damage to Brine where possible. Now, Brine's good. It's an incredibly strong war beast, threatens 1,000,000 miles, hits really hard, and this is a disaster for Justin. Because this counter charge is going to knock down, unless the Swabber is... I made this mistake yesterday. It's not going to knock down anyone, but it is... Well, it's going to knock down this Negation Angel number 2, and it's going to quite likely kill Hypatia, I would imagine. Assuming the Primal Archon attack hits. That's very, very unfortunate. But again, that Primal Archon is now in a position where it's relatively easy to deal with, where it's stood now. Again, it definitely gives his Toro a job to do with his turn. Hopefully the Toro can clear those out. The Swabbers then could potentially get through and get to Brine. As I was saying before, the counter charge, Brine is great, threats 1,000,000 miles, but he dies to anything, especially with Fury. I think he's a 13-17 beast, which is then down to 12-17 with only 26 boxes. So I would expect a fully loaded up Swabber to probably take it out. Now he's got to obviously get there without charging, and especially now with this negation. Oh no, I think a knockdown Negation Angel can still stand up. Can still apparate, which obviously clears up that space in front for these two Swabbers both to apparition forward a little bit before getting stuck on the flag. But I would imagine that would get them into walking threat of Brine. I've certainly, for Justin's sake, I hope so. And that's then probably going to be the limit of what he can get to easily. So, in terms of points, I think Justin will score the flag on the left, although with Hypatia dying now, there's not an awful lot of solos. That almost has to be the only model that can really score that flag at this point is Aurora herself, which isn't where she wants to stand, not just because she might die, but it also really affects her order of activations if she's going to go there. So I actually suspect that Justin might not score that flag, and this is where again I think the getting that Frustrum Locust number 2 counter charge is a real mistake, because that is a model as a solo that could have run to the flag. There's Hermit over there, which under feet or whatever can get there, so that might not be that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So yeah, I think score 1 there, score 1 in the right hand zone to sort of level things up at 2-all, kill 2 Primal Archons, potentially. At that point, I think it's, if that's all Justin gets done, I don't think it's enough. But if something can get to Brian as well, and take him off the table, it's another threat gone. At that point, it's effectively 3 heavies against what's left of Justin's army, and that could go either way at that point. But I think if Brian is left there in that sort of a threatening a position at the end of this turn, it's going to be quite rough. Excellent. Glad to hear it, because I've said everything I think I can about this game.
So how is it looking? This is looking pretty bolshy. The Frustrums are really.
I'll tell you what.
The Frustrums have gone.
Just to get you up to speed quickly, everything's been countercharged. So Hypatia has died to a Primal Archon number 2 countercharge.
Ouch. So that's no more apparition for the. Well, there's not really any angels left. So there's like 2.
No. And Frustrum Locust number 2 has been knocked down by a countercharge.
This is looking decent for Brad, I think. Like,
I think it is. They have poor. Clock's been on Justin for about 5 minutes now with no action being taken, so I'm not sure. And there's a lot of clicking around the the board going on, so it's obviously some sort of
like trying to work out
going on here.
What's going on, yeah.
So I think we'll
shuffle around. Let's have a little look.
Let's shuffle around.
How table 5's looking, because that was we wanted to see how much Vlad got done, and the answer is Vlad got a decent amount of work done. So Derek has gone up by 4. Yeah, so basically as predicted, right? So he scored his flag, blew off the stuff on Daniel's flag, scored both zones, and destroyed the objective. So it's currently Daniel's turn. But obviously the feat has been used. The Firefly is just inert,
and he's now trying to get stuff done into Vlad feated models.
Into Vlad featured armored core models. So it's not like it's not just the armor; it's the defense too, right? Goes up on the feet. It
does, but it's still armored core models.
Yeah, but it's more like the law of averages is going to be the stuff you're normally going to be hitting 90% of the time. You're gonna miss a few attacks, and if you're missing a few attacks on things that are so chunky, it's gonna really be like the thing that blunts you even more. Like the Stormstrider is going in the moment by the looks of it, and has not managed to kill anything that's gone into. Thrall Warriors are sort of positioning to guessing just to see if they can run awkward position to make Vlad have to deal with it next turn and to contest the flag.
The Marauder has been reasonably put back together, back up to 18 boxes again.
Where's the Marauder? Oh yeah, that's not bad. And then I'm presuming that you can't really say spare the attacks to kill 6 mechanics this turn when he's got to get work done, which means it's likely to get a lot better next turn. And obviously it's the rest of the stuff too, right?
And even nothing else. That Marauder kills the Stormstrider without breaking a slot.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, it goes in, kills the Stormstrider, and then if these tankers, the strike, 2 strike tankers and a suppression tankers, if they're still alive at the end of the turn, then the Marauder goes in first, clears the way for them to go in and smash into Nemo, right, and the Mangler, or both.
Yeah, just noted another thing that's dead is Alexia.
Oof! So there's no more thralls coming out.
So
she's definitely not.
Yeah, because that's what's just triggered it. So Daniel's just added, sort of noted that leader risen, the one that's run over to make friends with Vlad.
So the rest, right? This looks pretty rough for Daniel all of a sudden. Like, is he going to get much done apart from just position on this turn, and then have to take a second punch from these guys? Obviously, they're not going to be quite as effective, but certainly the Marauder doesn't care going into the Stormstrider. It's not going to mind.
It looks like Siege is up to something. Siege has just walked into the middle of the table.
Ooh. Oh, he's way up. Okay, right.
Oh, Force Hammer. Force Hammer.
Oh, hello.
Right. Okay.
Right. So Vlad's now knocked down. Has got 4 focus on him, and Ground Pounder.
Yeah, looks like the Mangler can get in. Possibly the objective needs to die before the Mangler can get in, but I'd imagine
the Mangler's got 3 focus and Lightning Shroud. Well, depending on how battered up Vlad gets by the guns, it might be the Mangler just goes into the objective, right, and just leaps Vlad to death.
No, because once Vlad's got his plus armor, the
elites aren't gonna really cut it. I think you're right. Yeah, but obviously he's got I'm assuming Nemo's gone already, and that's why the Mangler's that far forward. He's been.
Yes, I suspect so. So the critical thing that's happened here is that Siege's gun hasn't killed the objective, so it's done a couple more points to Vlad. Objective's now on 2, so
2 boxes, and Vlad's on 11, and has had to spend a focus for it as well. So yeah, he's looking in a dangerous position. Like, I would either one of these jacks just walks forward, finishes off the objective.
So here, I'm trying to work out.
I'm not even sure he needs to. Or is 8 to distance? No, so he's got to get rid of the objective to have a landing spot for the Mangler. Yeah,
which is huge because it takes a dice off an attack off Vlad.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Mangler's just going to ruin him, right? It's going to have its charge attack, pressure, got 2 attacks on a knockdown Vlad. Like, I don't see there's any way he survives.
So I think one of the models has just shot. Yeah, I think
objectives off the table. Mangler's going in. There's no counter charge over this side of the board in the middle. Minus Okonovich. So this will be just straight to the damage roll. This is knocked down.
That's the damage roll.
Ooh, I think they're like power 18, right? So
clock pause.
He's angry, so let's
yeah, no, that's
it's just scoring. Working out what's wow, that was, I guess, shows just how much Daniel knows his list and goes, this is the way out from this point. He
doesn't panic. That's what's most impressive when watching Daniel play, and I've played him a number of times. Is that he just he'll have been annoyed probably that Kane died, but it's
but still be still focused enough to be able to walk your caster into the middle of the table and go, this is the plan. We're killing Vlad this turn, or it's done, because the way the game will continue if you don't kill Vlad looks to be in just too rough a position to come back from. But yeah, that's the great thing about Warmachine, though, right? I think I really love the fact that there are all of these different win conditions. You can it's not just about like some other war games where it's just about throwing a million dice and grinding through and going, I've scored 10 bazillion points. Our game has taken 6 hours. It's more of a you can clinch it from the jaws of victory or underneath like the clutches of defeat and go, well, you've exposed your caster. That means you always have to risk that out from the other player where you're like the last place in Mario Kart comes zooming out of the back. Siege emerges from behind his wall of jacks, pops out the thrall onto Vlad's face, ground pounders, his jacks finish off the objective, and in goes goes Jack to just one shot him. It's like you can't ask for a bigger comeback turn, right? But
so shall we pop to table 1?
Absolutely, yeah. So I can say that takes the score, as far as I know, to 1-0 to Mucha Libre. Okay, so that was definitely Nate's turn. Then look at where Typhon has gone all the way forward and has come all the way back behind the building.
And went back. So, but it looks like the Angelius couldn't get back to safety because the Angelius is dead.
Yeah.
Presumably died to, I guess, a combination of the Death Archon and this World Warden.
Yeah, I would assume so. But so we're 2-0. 4, and it's turn 3, so it's Nate's going at the moment.
So I don't think Typhon got back that. Or maybe Typhon did go there. I'm just trying to work out what was feated back or what wasn't.
Like round right here, so that seems like a reasonable walk back. Maybe.
Yeah.
From where, yeah. Obviously, Nate's got one of the virtue hosts in the left zone, making sure that's not getting scored easily. Shuffling around, working, get done. So Tosh is up by 2, but it's Nate's turn, and it looks fairly early into it.
Yeah, no.
Looking at like the clock and stuff. So again, it's going to be what can Nate get done? Obviously, without the protection of cat and mouse this turn. And we see Veil's going forward, so this is going to be an insight, right?
It's going to be. It's got to be.
What's in insight range from where she is? Like a decent amount, like a little bit, a tiny squidge more, and she gets the Death Archon in the right zone. Why she hasn't?
No, she's 12.
Oh, she's 12. Of course she is. Yeah. Oh, right. So yeah,
12.
So she gets a hell of a lot in. And I think she's right to not go towards the edge of the building to get the other Archon. That's just too exposed.
Yeah, no. I mean, what realistically attacks that Archon anyway?
Yeah,
not
true.
A lot.
Don 4 Fury, so she's pretty defended, and obviously, as we've seen yesterday, got Dark Sentinel. She's got Dark Sentinel, and she's got what's the other room? She's got another rule where if transfer half the damage to an enemy beast or an enemy. So if for instance a feral came in at her, essentially do Dark Sentinel, tries to hit her, and it's been damaged already by like Typhon for a Scythian, got the option to triple an aspect out of her first transfer, which is a really nice tech. You don't often see it in use. So yeah, she's committed where she is. Looks pretty safe, but a lot can happen, right, with Kruger shenanigans. Where she's got a walled over here, so this walled could trample forward, TK her forward if Typhon's not in the way quite easily, or potentially the option that if you get a bead on her, TK her, the warden can go up into the left zone, gallows her maybe.
So what is interesting from Veil is that opted not to heal the Scythian.
Got a shepherd.
I imagine there's not a lot the Scythian can do this turn, but I might have been tempted just to throw one into it. Put that back in.
Yeah.
Just maybe gives it a couple more options later on in the game.
Yeah,
I get wanting to camp a bit.
Yeah.
Death Archon come.
Oh, hello. So I guess that's a combination of the Seraph and the Blight Archon.
Yes, I would imagine so.
So that's pretty good. So there's just the Wold in the zone testing. I don't think he's going to have anything that's going to really threaten to get out of it.
I don't know. These Hex Hunters under Insight might.
2 of them. One of them's disrupted.
One's
I have no
under
idea
feet,
what that.
so I'm not sure.
Oh, is that what the disruption token is? Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not.
Let's move to the Hell table.
Let's see how the Great War is going. going? And the answer is there's a lot of dead trolls.
There's a lot of dead trolls. And you know what's almost more impressive than how many dead trolls there are? Is Golly's clock.
Yeah. Golly's played this list to death, though. Absolutely full kudos to. He's put the hours and the reps in over years of playing Haley 3. So I'm not super surprised, but yeah, I'd expected certainly to chew through a little bit more. What we got? So it's currently John's turn.
John is one up because obviously Golly as we suggested, couldn't get anywhere near that
flag. And obviously this turn, he's going to score up to 2 and contest everything, even if nothing else happens. We've got like a couple of models that are going to be really difficult to remove in the left zone. Don't think.
So the thing that's going to be telling here is what is about to get battle lusted. Is the
yeah, that seems about right.
The Rune Bearer's moving over, presumably to put it on the purple unit. I meant the green unit. Sorry, is what I meant to say. Obviously,
but like I think looking at the state of the table, I think John's in the position where I think he could clear the right zone, so be scoring his flag and the right zone by just wandering that bomber over to the edge of the zone, getting some work done. This fell caller might just literally walk forward and spray and just get rid of most of the stuff, and then the bomber just bomber all the raider, finishes off the dog. He's just measuring to work out where he wants the bomber to end.
Yeah, nice little spot too.
This
at that point he goes like 3-0 and he's in a 3-0
and he's potentially the objective is untouched at the moment, so but he's got the potential to do some damage onto the objective and potentially go 4-0. Massive.
And at that point, if Golly doesn't, and at that point the flag is really dangerous.
Yeah, like how many models are actually contesting the flag?
I do. I mean, obviously, we've not watched this game.
I'm trying to click on the flag. Okay, fair enough. There's a lot of these trenches. The long gunners are actually all contesting the flag. That entire front line. So yeah, I don't think there's an easy route that John can clear the flag.
No, I don't think this is a game over.
I don't think it's quite.
I think what's almost odd from Golly's point of view is I'm surprised that there's not something towing into this zone down here behind the wall, sort of opposite side of the right-hand zone to the flag. Just
just behind the cloud. On the left-hand zone. You're talking about the left-hand or the right-hand zone?
Right-hand corner of the right-hand zone.
Yeah, literally like tucked in, like licking the wall and the zone.
Yeah.
No, I think they might have been, and it's been removed, I guess.
I suppose. Yeah, could have been.
Yeah,
could have been.
Not sure how deep into John's turn we are. So this is the bomber. Bomber looks like it's coming forward. Oh, yeah, maybe not. This bomber is a ginormous tease, obviously. See what he's going to get done.
Oh God, I tell you what, there is as well. There is a beautiful landing spot for a Death Archon in there. The Death Archon charges the Stormclad and threshes probably both Haleys.
Yeah, threshes, Haley Future, the Trencher, Buster. Yeah, like. Oh, and the shot's gone onto the Stormclad. So this might be the bomber softening up the Stormclad. Ready for what's going in. Be interesting. Hello, Stephanie. Did you join us? This is where you are at the moment. It's going really well. We've seen some epic games over the last week, and certainly yesterday's games where we streamed both rounds with some like crazy like shenanigans and strategy, and the players just absolutely busting it out. So we're currently looking at John Henry playing into Golly. So this is the Haley 3 versus Madrak 3, and John's 1-0 up at the moment. and we're kind of counting and seeing how much he's going to be able to remove.
I almost don't. I'm not sure it matters too much exactly how much he scores. I think with this death arc on going in, I just think he's gonna. I don't think Ollie's gonna have much left at all. I think this is.
This will be the point of no return sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll have a big pod of long gunners over there, not able to do very much.
Yeah.
And Fawn.
It might be. I think it depends, right? How much Andrak ends up camping. So he's on 2. He's quite far back.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's gone. He's on 2. He's on 2, and he's pretty far back. So basically, I think it might be a case of can Ollie make something out of it.
He's behind the objective, which cuts down most Force Hammer shenanigans.
Yeah. It looks pretty defensible.
Okay, every round we've commented on down over this weekend, there's been one game in which nothing has happened. So let's go to table 3.
Let's go to table 3. So this is Fiora 4 versus Zal 2. So all the tables that you expected that to happen on. So this could be it.
Yeah. So
how everyone is moving.
As far as I can tell, what's changed is a few more Immortals are dead and a Templar's taken 11 boxes. Oh, and now 7 more.
There we go. This looks like it's a very slow grind. The left Supreme's on fire.
I mean, a lot is on fire, so I suspect.
Yeah, let me zoom in there. There's a good amount of fire on the table, I'd imagine. Yeah, a lot of these Immortals, the left-hand side, and the Brute are all on fire. And the vessel.
Oh, but Templar dead though, so that is the left zone being scored.
Left zone being scored, and there's only one warder to stop scoring in the right zone as well. So score currently is 2-1 in Menoth's favour. But obviously this can be an easy swing of 1 for the left zone here, 1 for the flag, and then potentially contesting killing. If he kills the warder, it means no scoring on the right hand side for Menoth, and scoring for Skorne instead. So 1, 2, 3 score, so it goes to 4-2, unless he can land on the objective as well. Potentially 5-2 if he's not gone with some of these Immortals, can go in and Zal's. I guess they don't.
And I like these positionings for the Immortal vessels as well. They're just moving into places where, if that last roll of the dice is needed, if Pair has a huge turn and kills 10 Immortals next turn, which potentially could happen.
Yeah.
As we saw in the game yesterday, that sort of last roll of the dice with the assassination is potentially there. So it's just.
Yeah. And I think the clock. More and more. I think the clock difference has narrowed a little bit as well. So I'm guessing that Pair's been forced into making some choice decisions. Yeah. Grant's managed to.
But Grant's done brilliantly at keeping those Guardians safe.
Yeah. So they
keeping Khador safe until.
Yeah, make sure
Khador could go and kill a heavy.
Yeah, and make sure those units got someone safe in them, so they can just keep on coming back with more Immortals. What we've got currently. Yeah, that's decent. Well, let's shift across. Let's see how everything else. The Aurora match. Let's have a look. See how things are going on the table. So this is table 4.
Okay.
So there's a good diagonal line mercenary list across the middle of the table, where Hermits parks almost dead center of the map, and a couple of things have gone beyond it. Score is 2-0 in favour of Rask. But obviously it's Justin's turn currently. Justin's a good good amount of time down.
Yeah, so just this turn has been an epic from Justin, but this is obviously I was discussing this one when you had to nip out a little bit ago.
Yeah.
this is one where Justin doesn't look like he has been able to score the zone, because once Justin let the counter charge happen on this knockdown from Locust number 2, it then meant that the Death Archons had to go somewhere different in order to deal with the Primal Archon, and then hasn't then been able to kill off Lanissa as well. I did make a mistake earlier now, I think, on it, is that I mentioned that the Death Archon could kill the Primal Archon and then repo 5 back behind the wall. Obviously with Shadowbind that wouldn't have been an option, so that was... so here we go. So this is the Shrike going for Lanissa. So at that point, yes, Justin would then score.
So he's scoring 1 there, and the Shrike can be in a position potentially where it contests a River Raider on the flag currently. I guess the Frustration's contesting anyway, right? The Frustration and the Death Archon.
Yeah, as is the Death Archon.
Yeah, it doesn't have to worry about that too much. But it depends on how much of this, like by the looks of it, there's a lot of the Swabber and the Toro just next to the objective are shadowbound. So... Yeah,
they must have had to go in together on the Primal Archon, presumably. Which means the Toro went in first and didn't kill it, and then the Swabbers had to go and finish off.
Which means there's not a lot on this side of the table for Justin to finish off anything else.
No, there's 3 focus on the other Swabber, which I assume he means is going to walk up and
shoot and drag something in, but it's not going to drag the Brine in because it's a negation angel in the way, and it's not really built to do a huge amount of damage. Well, it's not a super like high output heavy anyway. It's got such a swathe of utility skills.
Well, it's also completely blocked in by that negation angel number 2.
Yeah, so at best, right, could trample over the negation angel, and then buy a couple of shitty attacks against Brine undamaged. I don't see Brine going down to it.
Okay, Justin has now been countercharged for the 3rd time this turn, and I think those 3 between them adding up is
it's got to hurt, right? It's got to hurt to see. The Shrike is the Shrike running, or is he actually?
It must have just run.
Yeah, Swamp Horror comes forward.
It has admonition.
Yeah, it's like I'm not scared. Whatever's coming next, it's fine.
I think I've met Justin. I've played Justin. Justin's a superb player, but this feels like a game he's playing at 7 or 8 a.m. Which I don't know where Justin is, but I know
Justin's East Coast, so it's earlier for Brad. Brad's West Coast, like Vegas way.
Yeah,
Vegas way.
I think there's been a couple of mistakes in this turn that have cost him.
Yeah, this is looking rough towards the end of Justin's turn, because Rask's got a lot of models, a lot of work models here. They're going to go into the basically just take pretty much all of the threats off the table. Maybe Gatsby's can survive where he is. If
I would expect. I think.
Or does this middle Swamp Horror go in, smash up the Toro, but just get a cheeky hit on the Shadowbound Death Archon, drag it out of the way, so the other Swamp Horror can go up there and kill the other Death Archon and Gatsby. Like, does he just kill everything in that zone?
Rask can do a lot. Rask has that Death Archon's on the journey.
He's like, I am out of here. This is not a safe place anymore. Yeah.
Rask can do a lot. Rask can buff things to a ludicrous amount, but he can't buff a lot of things in one turn.
To a lot of it,
Fury can go into this, but it doesn't look like. Oh yeah, so Fury is on Brine and then could go on something else. Rage can go on 1 or 2 things, sort of maximum.
Yeah,
a couple of things can get boundless charge. So He has to sort of concentrate it in one or two places.
I'm not sure he needs to be charging off most of this thing. Obviously, on the right, if he wants to get Gatsby, that's a charging Swamp Horror. But Brine and the Swamp Horror on the left hand side, are they just walking? Does the Swamp Horror walk in and just kill a couple of Negation Angels? Is it living models that gets tokens off, or is it any?
It's literally anything. So I think the Swamp Horror walks. Yeah, you're right. It walks up to somewhere where it can beak attack one of the heavies.
Yeah,
and pull in and kill the.
Yeah, cheeky whip at the Negation Angels to just build tokens.
Yeah. And then start beaking whatever he
and then go. Now I'm a very big boy with the biggest beak, and the Kraken has awakened, and off it goes. Yeah, like
but the only unfortunate thing with that is the other option is if Brad decides that this Swamp Horror is one of the models that wants Fury this turn, at that point he wants to activate Brine first, so he probably uses this Pharaoh Valkyrie maybe to kill the Negation Angel.
The leader, yeah.
Or maybe even Barney does it himself. There's options.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of options for Brad to be smashing the world, but I think what we might see, Brad just goes for the 5-0. He just kills a Negation Angel in this left zone. Goes to 3 CPs, scores his flag to 4, clears 3 models out of the right, go to 5, and puts Swamp Horror and whatever else he can into the objective.
Well, he doesn't need to then, does he? He just needs to clear.
She's on 2, right? So 2, 3, 4. Yeah, true. Yeah. So we need to just kill basically 4 models, 5 models. 1, 2. Yeah, she needs to kill the 4 models in the right zone. Takes him to 3, takes him to 4, and then 1 Negation Angel takes him to 5, and just nothing on the flag already.
Well, basically, he's got to kill these 3 models that are near the flag and the Negation Angel, and then 1 of the objective or Gatsby.
Or Gatsby, yeah. Whichever one is easier. Yeah. Probably the objective, right? Because it frees up the Swamp Horror to just Swamp Horror on the right can just join in clearing the flag, and then the Swamp Horror in the middle wanders forward and just puts all the attack it needs to into the objective to get it undamaged at the moment, so shouldn't be terribly hard. But yeah, we'll see that what our plans versus what Brad's plans are could be very different.
I'm sure. So we can see here we're sort of in the middle of Boomhowl's activation, who has just cleared up that Shrike and is now putting some attacks into the Frustrum Locust to soften that up.
Well, we'll just kill it, right? It's knocked down, so he's going to get trash on it as well.
Yeah, I don't think he has killed it. Well, it looks like he's only rolled a boost. I think the 2 attack damage rolls on it were a boosted 7 and a boosted 8, which hasn't quite done enough.
This looks like a very strong position for Brad. Should we have a little cycle through the other tables while we're looking to see how this comes back? So let's jump back to table 1. So we'll look for the Kruger Vale 1 match. So we're on 2-1 CP wise in favour of Kruger currently, and it is Thomas's turn.
Unfortunately, this looks like Typhon has come up and not done much. He's put a decent chunk into the Stalker. As we commented earlier, the Death Archon's dead, but this Walled Warden's lived.
There's another Death Archon off way up in the left zone.
Yeah,
contesting, I believe.
So I would say this is looking rough for Nate at this point. Because
it depends.
Depending on what's activated, I would guess this Stalker hasn't activated and is about to walk up and have a delicious Typhon.
I'm guessing the Archon has gone. One that's halfway up the middle, the left turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we've got a Wold Weird going into the zone, and it's going to shoot, I imagine, the Archon, which has got
with Crimson Ballet on him.
Yeah, exactly. Which has got a spell on him. So she's got 10 boxes at the moment. I don't see her surviving. I think a Wold Weird probably kills her and then puts the cheeky remaining shots into the Seraph. just to try and get some pot shots and soften it up a little bit. I'm not sure the Seraph's close enough to the edge of the zone to TK out.
No, he must be because he's not fully in the zone.
Oh yeah. True. There's nothing behind him.
Oh, it is.
So is this the case where Thomas is looking for to go up enough? Can he? So we can score the left-hand zone. Go to 3, score his flag. Go to 4, score this zone. 5. Can you get something into? Can you get something into the objective?
The objective with 2 boxes left.
Okay, so if one of these, if the World Warden on the far left hasn't gone, for instance, it could just walk forward and.
Well, the big question, the thing that would absolutely do it is, has the well activated yet?
This is true as well. it can just shoot, do itself a bit of damage to boost. Wells I don't know any well that doesn't boost.
Yeah.
So we've got some nice rolls from Tomasz. I'm assuming this is the weird. Oh, that's got to be a boosted damage roll into the Archon.
Yeah, but that's just a transfers. So I don't. It doesn't feel like the Archon is going to die.
It's got 4 boxes and no transfers now, and it's still being shot. Oh, is it? How many shots is that? 3rd shot?
That must be the last one. That's the last one. That's quite unlucky. That's some rough damage rolls.
Yeah.
So that changes things a bit, but not. So it looks like Kruger's going to. Either Kruger can go up and do this, or also the option that I possibly like more is TK this Wold Warden. Wold Warden charges the Blight Archon, and then is in a good position to TK the Seraph out the zone, possibly even without it getting cover, which should work fairly well.
Yeah, a bit of a combo of options. I guess if you can get the Bold right just into melee.
So obviously, how advantageous this is very much based on information we don't know at the moment, which is what hasn't activated that can do 2 points of damage to that objective.
Yeah. Well, this cycle through, we'll come back and we'll find out if there's anything left. So table 2 is the War of Attrition, and it continues to be attritioning. So it's Golly's turn.
Yeah, so John's gone. He's only gone 2 up. The dog didn't die.
He has only gone 2 up. Yeah, dog hasn't died. The objective hasn't died. None of the zones are clear. So he's just ticking over on his own flag.
Yeah.
It
sort of looks like the Death Archon went in and didn't do very much.
Yeah,
because
like that, yeah.
Haley Future's still there. The
Stormclad
presumably
nearly all his boxes are fine. Did he just bounce off the Stormclad?
I assume I would guess the charge attack was hermited.
Yeah.
And then the second one stationaried it, which is why it's only on 2 focus now, because it'll, I guess, paid 1 to shake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'd say Golly is in a better position here. Well, I still think he's in a rough position. He's still in the game, which I think.
There's a lot of long gunners dead as well, though. If you look on the right.
That must be what the bomber did then.
Yeah, so the bomber must have just gone for. Yeah, they do have a lot of output, right? Just them staying there and going, we're shooting twice. They start trimming off all of the trolls. Yeah. Now the feat is over. But yeah, this looks like it's can continue to be a grind off. Both players really sort of in charge of their foxes, as you can see.
So this is a new baby Haley being put into play now.
My daughter trying to steal more.
And just Haley now sort of backing off, presumably kind of nervous about the Death Archon stood right in her face.
Yeah, I think it's the wise plan is just make sure she is like as safe as she can be.
I'm intrigued as to what knocked down the Hermit, though.
Yeah, unless it's just like
unless it's a mini feat used.
Token instead of that, yeah. Well, it sounds like my is right. We're going to shift across to table 3 for a minute. See how Zal is looking.
Okay.
If I leave you for a moment or two while we see how this is progressing.
No problem at all. So we are back on Per's turn. I'm not sure again how much he's activated now, but it's the same dance of dealing with immortals. Now, on the left-hand side, it looks like there are only two immortals left in the blue unit. So, depending on what exactly has been done so far, if somehow Per can find a way to deal with those two, then that is a lot of recursion off the table, and potentially makes a start in him being able to sort of get in a position to grind through this. I think attrition-wise, he's not Menoth aren't in a bad spot by any means. With still got 4 heavies perfectly healthy on the table. The Revenge is still going. That's a chunky piece to take out. So there we go. That's where we do see that blue unit of Immortals is now completely gone. That's a really nice pickup. That was, I think, some spells being arced by Fiora, I think. Let's pick those up. Possibly the Reckoner shot. Probably did one as well. And now we have, it looks like the Redeemer is putting a few shots into, I would guess, the Brute. I expect the Brute's going to be taken off the table based on that 15 damage roll. There we go. So we are starting to get to that point where I suggested sort of right at the start when we were first looking at this game that Per has sort of taken the brunt of the Immortals attack and is now just sort of trying to grind stuff away as much as possible. Taking out one of the arc nodes as well. We are now at that point where Zal is just taking the souls on himself. So he's up to 6 there. There is still an arc node right in the right hand zone. That Immortal Vessel number 1. I'd be hoping for Per's sake that he is going to look to pick that up somehow, whether it be the Warder or whatever's available to go and kill that. Now, I don't necessarily know what went in. So the Warder is knocked down, so he's in that sort of part dead position, which again, not sure what did or. So it must have happened this turn, you'd have to assume. But I don't know. So that's a Road to War move there on this Templar, who is sort of going to look to go in and maybe try and take the Advocate out of this Immortal unit. And then I think we're going to see sort of a fairly explosive turn from Fiora 4. Here she is. Huge on angry points now, which is great. But she's doing the sensible thing. It's been played right. She's sort of staying at the back of the table with Sevi Zero and just sort of waiting for that opportunity. Once some of the big threat pieces have been dealt with, the clock's just been switched back here, so. Looks like that was the end of Per's turn, which possibly puts him in a slightly worse position than I thought. I sort of assumed that these heavies here had already gone, but it looks like that wasn't. They'd already activated, or just choose to hold them back. So I suppose now the question is then, how much can these Immortals and possibly we might see the Supreme Guardian start to commit this turn. Certainly the one on the left I expect to see charging into that Revenger now that he's not necessarily, well, he's definitely not got any Immortals to revive anymore, certainly not in the unit that was close to him. He's close enough to pop some in the other unit, but I think at this point what Grant will be wanting to do is sort of score the zone and keep the scenario pressure ticking. There are only a handful of turns, well, 3 turns left, so making sure you're not falling behind on CPs is pretty important. Now I'm just trying to I was just trying to see why Grant hadn't scored his flag, but I missed Anastasia hanging out there behind. I assume I would guess she killed something after coming off from an ambush. Let's just move through to that. So Ancestral Guardian then coming in, trying to see if he can sort of squeeze past that building and make a charge on the Revenger, which looks like it has. And then these guys hit very hard, so we'll have to see. So that was a roll of an 11, so dice off 3 on the Revengers. That's done a decent start into there. So dice off 3. We'll have to see how Grant chooses to do it. Looks like he's just rolling the attacks and dealing with that movement now out on the Revenger. Arc, no doubt. Movement out is a good job with that fair, uninspiring roll there. Which should still hit, and it's just after chipping away at that Revenger. It would be huge if this guy can take it out, and with that damage roll, definitely will do, which is big. At this point, the Supreme Guardian on the left has got a bit more freedom to sort of do whatever he thinks he needs to. Sort of get in position, stay out of threat of the Reckoner if that seems important, or which looks like I think the Reckoner is at speed 5. I think it's a 13-inch threat with Road to War. But he's not in the battle group, so that definitely sort of reduces that down. So Guardian just doing the rough jobs, just killing off Anastasia, allowing Grant to score 2 now on that zone. Obviously with it, one in the flag, 1 in the zone. Only needs to deal with this warder, who I must admit I'm not absolutely certain what's happening with the warder down there. It's so we'll just leave the players in charge of that, but assuming that is probably going to be there for certainly until after scoring would happen this turn. It looks like probably just score the 2, which isn't too bad at all. You're going to have to sort of start forcing either some of the Quiet to start coming up and into the zone, or the Reckoner needs to sort of get in there, kill this Ancestral Guardian. And at this point, it almost seems like Grant's biggest concern is probably the fact that he's only got 13 minutes left. At this point on turn 5, it's not a disastrous position to be in clockwise, but when you are not yet really that far ahead on control points, you need to make sure that doesn't get on top of you. As I say, realistically will go 2 more points up this turn, but it's almost at that stage on clock where all you need to be doing is do the activations that are going to score you a point, do any activations that are going to be high value activations, and then pass the clock back. Give yourself a bit of thinking time for the sort of later on turns, so that you're not having to rush and potentially make a mistake on turn 6 or 7 when your opponent's sort of really pushing through. So just checking out there. So there's only one dead, only the one dead immortal at the moment on the right hand side. This is one where Menoth's real lack of removed from play abilities is definitely not making life any easier on the other side. And yeah, Grant just remaining very cautious with these Supreme Guardians, just keeping their toes in the zone, keeping them safe, keep bringing back the Immortals. Honestly, I can't think of a worse list to play than this, which seems pretty uninteresting. Now, forgive me, I can't switch Dan's camera, but it looks like on table 4 the game has finished now. This was the Brad against Justin matchup. Aurora into Rask. And when we were last there, we were sort of looking at Brad needing to score 3 more points to close that game out. And it very much looks like that happened. Excellent. Could you pop table 4 on, please, Dan? Fantastic. So, as discussed, this game is now finished. As we thought might happen. In fact, 13 minutes ago it's finished, so apologies for that.
sorry guys. I've been dishing out food for my kids. Sure, we can.
As we suspected, Brad's scored the 3 more points. Swamp Horror killed the objective. Clear the models from the left zone. Clear the models from the flag. Score 3 to go 5-0 up.
So that takes the teams to 1-1. You've just been watching the Zal game, so let's have a little check. I don't know if the other games are. Quickly look. We'll go back to table 1. I think that's the one that looks like it's closest. So Thomas has gone up 4-1 up. Back over to Nate's turn.
Oh, so it looks like Thomas did get something else on the objective, but only did 1 more point to it.
Oh, agonizing. Blimey. That's rough. That's rough.
But I would say it's. In fact, the amount of 1-point models here. So objective's got 1 point left. Agrosh has got 1 point left. So at 1 point last turn, we saw the Archon with 1 or so points left. So the Virtue Host has killed the Death Archon that was in this left zone. So Nate is going to be able to score some points back.
Is that Wold Warden just touching the very corner of the zone? Wold Warden number 2.
I meant scoring the flag.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely scoring the flag. Whether or not he's got anything that can go and take the Wold Warden out of the way is
something's happening though, because Vale is proxying out.
Vale's going
a bold movement.
Is that a Vale's going forward to try and kill? Where's Kruger?
Kruger's camping 4.
Let's check the beasts. So the Wild One's on 3. The Wild One on the left only on 1. Okay, so he's definitely got transfer targets.
Yeah. And the Feral, they've got plenty of boxes.
This seems an odd move.
He's confirmed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he think he's just got enough to just power through it?
So I assume this is Scythian coming. Coming in.
She'll go for a hit on the Spirit Cauldron, right? To do. She's got the AoE, right? With crit stationary. Or she's chucking that into. No, she's not even doing that. She's just gone forward and is camping 6. And is on to the next. I have no idea what's going on. Like, she's camping 6. That's good, but she's not exactly like.
No, but she's just something that says he rolled a 5, Puppet Master, and has only rolled a 6, and I don't know whether that was enough.
Oh, is whatever that is got leash on it? No.
Well, she's Right, I think
Oh,
that
blimey,
this game is just finished.
I think that's some really bad rolls out of Nate. Yeah, as he just gone. I can't
So
stop enough.
I would guess looking at this, I think Nate's realised he's losing the game and he's realised he's had to push something. Yeah. I don't know Vale well enough to know exactly what the plan was, but I think what's happened is Vale's gone up. This proxied movement from the Scythian was going to go up and hopefully deal with the Stalker and this Wayfarer to then allow Typhon to, I guess, charge Kruger. Charging Kruger, if you get the crit pitch, would have potentially got him out of the 14. Oh no, it's 16 inches because he's got the well. And maybe hope that Typhon could get through it with his attacks, which isn't impossible. And if you think you're losing the game, it's something you'd go for.
Yeah, with Insight up, and he's got obviously have rerolls right off Thags. So he'd have like potentially 8 attacks on Kruger.
It looks like they're doing it. So it looks like they're going to roll this one out.
Rolling out to see what could have happened if.
So the problem is killing this Stalker is
what gets rid of the objective though. Get through.
Oh yeah, good.
Like, yeah, I don't see where. You can't just spray Kruger to death because just sacks it off. What's he got to sack off to? Although, I guess I know he's only got. Well, he's got 4 Fury though, right? So he just all of them. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, this looks like a concession.
Either way,
where Nate has tried something, it hasn't gone wrong, which takes us, that if that's the case, we're calling it as it is now, of 2-1 to Mucha Libre by doing so. Let's have a little cycle around then. So table 2, the Great War is currently we're paused. Gone up to turn 4. Oh it's won. John's won it.
John's won it. Yeah.
5-0. Oh blimey! Right. So this is looking really tight. So so he's basically been able to just clear. What's he cleared to be able to get up to 5? Was he just been ticking consistently?
He's just been ticking. I think we said this. So it looks like. I think Golly's just never got that flag contested.
Yeah, so he's just
scoring as we sort of said from
scoring
the start
every turn. Nearly every
problem.
turn, he's stopping the bottom flag from being being scored, and no one is scoring any zones. And the objective is destroyed. Has been destroyed as well. The Cygnar objective is gone. So it could be that the bomber basically just sat there, did the rest of the work on the objective to get rid of it. So that takes it to
table 3.
That takes it to 2-all, and then table 3.
This is it then.
This is the decider. Oh, this is a good final. I'm sorry if I was away for a little bit there to sort out food shit. So we've got. In comes one of the heavies going. Into the Supreme. So the Supreme will get his defensive strike, but the Reckoner is damaged right now. So even if he gets a really spiky roll, I don't think he takes out
down
anything.
The 3. The 3's an irrelevant column anyway.
Yeah. So nothing important.
I mean that roll down the 1 takes his arm off.
Yeah. Basically, if he could have taken one of his arms off, that'd have been great. But he couldn't have, with that roll, couldn't have taken the Cortex off. One more damage and down the 4, that'd have been crippling, right? That'd have been,
so this looks like it's there we go. That is a dead.
So we're currently 5 CPs to Zal 2, 3 to Fiora.
Oh, this is tense, Dan. I'm liking this. I'm glad I came back for this.
yeah. This is obviously so the Reckoner that's just destroyed the Supreme is contesting the flag. So needs to remove one immortal to free up the zone there to go to 4. Like it shouldn't be hard for him to remove enough immortals around his flag to go to 5.
No, and that keeps things even as long as there's a mechanic right there, ready to go.
It's
and
pretty easy to chunk through. So if you're watching, this is the final game of the Virtual Team Championship 2022, and it's all on this. So Mucha Libre versus All Gas No Brakes. We've got Kruger 2 won out against Vale 1, Mandrak 3 on for Mucha Libre. Mandrak 3 for All Gas No Brakes, won against Haley 3. And then for All Gas No Brakes, Rask won against Aurora, and Siege won for Mucha Libre against Flan 2. And this is the final game of the round, and it's everything on these two players. So Per and Grant are playing for the team win. Yeah. The team and the ability.
Here's the big question, Dan. If we've both played plenty of team events, if you were in this position, would you want to know?
No. You don't want to know. You don't. You want to be able to concentrate on your game, and play your best game. And even I think the coolest of players, if they're told that it's all on this, it puts that little bit extra, even if it's like not conscious. Maybe like it goes deep psychology, right? Do you know that you're who you're playing isn't as cool as you? If so, then you want you want both of you to know. Otherwise, yeah, keep it quiet, sort of thing.
Of course, that's one of the unique things about the VTC is that when you're playing in a room and all your mates are on the tables near you, it's very difficult not to know.
Yeah. Like if this was the final table of the final match for the win at the WTC, there would be people around the table. It would be impossible to notice that you're the last match going on. You know,
even you would have seen. But I'm speaking like this, like I've got top level experience at team events. Yeah, absolutely not.
I've got top level of watching events.
But you would have seen that all the other games have finished, and you would see that no one has celebrated winning the WTC.
Yeah. There's been no like resounding cheer from your teammates or from your opponents.
Yeah.
So it's a foregone. So it looks. I think like look at the clocks as well, right? We're so deep into the game. This is turn 5, and there's like almost even on clocks. I think Per has a lot more work on the table left. That's the worry, right? Is the Supreme and the right hand side has to go kill a heavy and then basically
somehow
not die to the other two heavies that are literally perched there, like tapping their toes.
Which sometimes will be possible.
Yeah.
But because you'd block them with some immortals, but that is made far more difficult because Road to War is on the table. And that is a great spell for. There's one model in my way. I'll sort of walk around, scoot to it,
and all there is to be blocking is these immortals. So basically, it's you either block the way with models that give you Road to War, or you don't block the way and just have the one go in. Like well, look at this. Most of them have just died. Per's getting.
I've got a mad feeling that this.
How many souls? 4 souls on Zal. Where is she? Where's the girl?
She's just moved left. She has moved more than 20 inches away from the immortal vessel.
Yeah,
is what she's done.
She's like, I can see you over there. I do not want the game to end like that. That's really really good. Like top level play, right? Going. I can see that I've got to kill immortals. I've got to give you souls. If I just make sure I'm too far for you to be able to arc, I can just take that off the table. Wise choices already. So we're like, look at this. The clocks have literally just passed being even. So it's Grant's turn. So we're on 5-4 CPs at the moment. Grant's making his vengeance moves for the immortals by the looks of things. Putting like a little bit of attacks in. Whether or not they'll do much damage. There you go. One health to the Reckoner.
Personally, I don't know why. I don't know why Per only scored 1 that turn. Because didn't he score the left zone and his flag?
I think so. Have they just not updated the ticker?
No, they added 1 to it.
Did have 1. Interesting. Who's the flag? Mechanics on the flag. But as per the pack, we are just observers.
Yeah, we are there, and there are enough people watching that game who pick that up if a mistake been made.
Yeah, the way the pack has been set out is when games are being watched by people sort of, tuning in on into the actual table itself or watching on stream. It's only the players' input that will be listened to by the judges. They've just gone a flat, rather than having opening the door. They just said the players should know their rules. They should keep track of their games. Players call for a judge. They can obviously sort things out. But player misses something, they miss something. It's their mistake, sort of thing. Which I think just makes it easier to handle as an event. Otherwise, especially when you've got like multiple streamers and multiple people, all sort of.
And it makes it more like a real life event.
Yes, yeah, because you don't stand around a table going, oh, that should have happened there, mate. Yeah, obviously you don't interfere table scope. So the stream is frozen, and I've just updated it, so you guys should be able to see everything's happened. Thanks, Ancelari, for letting me know. I think seeing stuff move now on the stream. Waiting for
these immortals are really struggling through this Reckoner.
Hopefully, you guys will be. There's a bit of time delay, so that might be a little bit of a boring match for a little bit, but we'll carry on talking through it. You'll see what happens shortly.
The novitiate has just gone to the flag to free Abadan up to go and finish off this Reckoner, which looks like it is going to be required, I think, because I think he's run out of attacks with Immortals into it now.
And then the Kriya can get into the zone to score it?
Yes, yep.
That's so that'll be 6-4, 7-4 with the flag being scored as well. The flag, Per's flag has already been contested by an Immortal.
At that point, there's not an awful lot left that can contest Grant's flag.
Yeah. What's this like? There's a Vassal Menoth down here.
Vassal doesn't get there, but
he'll just run up. What else have we got? That's the question. And is
right. So the Abadan did not kill. Reckoner. So
the Reckoner's got three boxes left.
Yeah, he's still got his movement, so this isn't super easy for Zal to. So Zal's moved to 10 inches away to spell it.
A Spirit Sunder. Sunder Spirit, rather Spirit. Lost 2 health at 3. We've not seen a roll from Zal since, right?
No, I think that was Abadan. There you go. A boost, only getting a boosted 8 with Abadan isn't.
Yeah, 1, 2, and a 5. A little bit rough. So we're still on Grant's turn. So rolled. He rolled a 5. I'm not sure what it's.
That looks from. I would guess that 5 is Zal missing a Sundered Spirit.
Yeah, possibly, because it's not lost its movement and it's engaged. So is the Supreme going to come and shoot it?
Is what looks like it's happening.
It's just looking for a position where it can touch the zone. Oh no! Oh, again, one of the two. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, there's the way the multi-stream works is if basically it sometimes picks up the wrong window if I'm not tabbed to the correct window, or if I don't have like my multi-tab thing open at the same time. So yeah, it's just occasionally. Sorry about that. You've not missed the end yet. So Grant's just gone below 4 minutes, and yeah, the Supremes just moved and just stayed safe, and they paused. And it's scoring, so like we said, it's only no scoring this turn.
No score.
No scoring because that pesky Menoth Jack preventing it from
hung on in there.
Yeah. So obviously, has got a little bit more time, and potentially move up with one of these heavies, clear out the two immortals that are near the flag end of the zone. To allow the other one to go forward to at least make some space for the Templar in front of the Supreme go in and start smashing the Supreme, as well as clearing the zone. At which point this turn could end with obviously Per scoring 2 elements on the right hand side if you can kill the Supreme and solos. So you can go up to 6-5. I don't think he's got enough on the left be able to clear it, just like volume attacks wise.
No, especially as that Reckoner is so far out of control.
Yeah. It's got no cortex anyway, right? So it's just swinging.
What might be able to do
swinging.
Just bash Abaddon.
Yeah, bash Abaddon or.
Which arm's his gun? I can't remember which arm's which.
But it's engaged anyway, right? Oh, you just mean just to kill Abaddon, but he comes back though, right?
Yeah, because with his right arm gone, I don't know whether has he still got his melee attack. I suppose is what.
If you kill Abaddon, he just comes back in. Or does he come back? Does he come back out of the Supremes and out of Zal himself?
He doesn't come back if the Supreme's dead.
Well, yeah. If you kill the Supreme, so. But for sure, that's an important part of it. The objectives both completely untouched.
Yeah, so in theory, that's a inverted commas freebie for someone, but there's not an awful lot. Really. It's going to be far easier for Per to potentially pick it up than for.
Yeah, because this Templar could just go to there and basically rather than. I wonder if he's got enough movement with Road to War to get a Crusader onto Supreme. So he walks 4, right?
So I think what's happening now is
he's 11.1 away. Right? It needs to be within 11, right, for a Road to War and then a charge to get to the for the Crusader to get to.
I think what's happened is I think the Covenant has activated, cleared off an Immortal, and put a bit of damage into the Supreme Guardian.
On 24 boxes. So what I was talking about was if the bottom Templar goes in, kills these Immortals, the Crusader walks forward, Road to War, and then is just shy. So Grant's perfectly positioned the Supreme where he can't be charged by the back Templar. Got to be the front one that deals with him, or him and the objective. Like. If he rolls hot enough, that's a possibility, right? He could clear the zone and score his flag and kill the objective, but I think he needs some pretty hot dice to be able to be achieving it.
Yeah, and I don't think he needs to. It has the last turn. So
the Templar's got Hell Wrought. It's about to get battle, or it's got battle just now.
So if the Templar this turn can kill the Supreme Guardian.
Yeah. It's like that's it, right? There's nothing that can come back and kill 4 Menoth heavies, or let's say 3 because the one's like very last legs.
It is. I like this vassal positioning's good. Just get it towed in that zone.
Yeah.
Make it as difficult as possible. Oh, this is still very, very close.
yeah, it is. Absolutely is. And what's the danger range for Fiora from Zal? It was like, is it 20?
It depends. Partly depends if Zal has something to charge,
like a Reckoner. Oh, he's too far from the Reckoner, right?
Right, too far from the Reckoner.
Yeah. So it depends if the Templar comes up towards that. Right, yeah, Templar's going to the right, so that definitely takes that option. Or he's certainly telegraphing that that's what the plan is.
Yes. Oh, here comes Fiora. No, here comes. Sorry, Mr. +1 to everything.
Sevi, the team player. Like, what a guy. So is he just going to chin 3 strikes and go, it's fine, you're not going to do enough?
You've got to assume so. Well, it's just the 1 free strike because he stayed engaged by number 6.
Yeah, so he just gets 1 free strike, which means the other Templar, after Road to War, can get into the stream.
I think
9-inch, right?
I think this Templar should kill the Supreme.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then this other Templar kills the Immortal Vessel to clear the zone. Score 2, pass the clock back, and just challenge Grant to.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 jacks back. I know the Crusader went up, killed the other 2. He's easily cleared the zone, and he's basically got 2 heavies, parked within threat range, just destroy the objective, and clear out anything that you. But again, like time is ticking down for both of them. We're on 3 minutes 40 for pair as the Supreme Guardian bites the dust.
I'm an absolute wuss with stuff like this, Dan. If I weren't on this commentating with you right now, I'd be switching it off.
Like it's done.
I'll find the result out later.
Oh, a 3 on the attack roll on the arc node. Oh no! Maybe that was the damage roll. It doesn't matter because it's a heavy jack hitting basically some priest like in a loincloth and died long ago. So up goes the Reckoner. I don't know if it's actually just running. I think make it Grant out maybe. As long as he doesn't run anything like too close to Zal, good, right? That's the only out now is Zal getting immortals, kill immortals, and having a charge target, and it's over. It's over to Grant, so yeah, it's not happening. So we are.
He's 1 down. He needs to block up the route to the objective, and some. Problem is that pair almost scores 2 by default.
Yeah.
There is a.
I wonder whether or not this immortal on the right hand zone should have vengeance closer to the building, just so we could run past the Templar and only have 1 free strike and just hope for hope to get to the flag.
Key thing for Grant here is try and stop.
Well, you might even be able to squeeze next to the Templar, testing the flag with the other immortal.
Give me.
Sorry, go back to you.
Grant needs to ideally kill both of these models. So if he doesn't kill both of these models in the zone, that's it.
Yeah, so the jack's gone from contesting the zone. Chat are asking. This is the decider. So this is the last game. This is for the championship. So Kruger 2 has beaten Vale for 1 win to Mucha Libre. Siege 1 has beaten Vlad for the 2nd win, and then on the other side, Mandrak 3 beat Haley 3 for All Gas No Breaks, and Rask beat Aurora 1. So it is all on this last 5 minutes of game. See who takes home the crown for the Virtual Team Championship 2022. This is epic Warmachine in action. The Grant's down, just gone below 2 minutes, and he's positioning, trying to work out where he's putting what.
Right now, he's only scoring 1.
Yeah, scoring 1, but he's got obviously immortals, and he's got the potential for boosts off Zal. Can he clear zone?
But can he clear the zone and also contest the flag? Because if he doesn't contest the flag, and he cannot afford pair to score a point on this turn.
Yeah. If you can if he can sneak around somehow, but it looks like that plan's just not on the table.
That lead has just run away. So at this point, Grant only scores 1. It goes to 6-all. Pair scores his flag, so it just goes to 7-6. I'm pretty sure what Grant's trying to do in trying to protect the objective, but I don't think it does enough.
Yeah, because next turn, Tribbley just runs up, contests the flag, contests the zone, clears out his zone and
he doesn't even need to. Right now, if Grant hits the clock now, which he's 30 seconds off having to,
we go to
both score 1 point.
We go 6-7. Yeah. At which point,
then Bear just hits the clock back.
Yeah, it goes. I'm up by a point. It's fine. Yeah. So Grant's got just above 10 seconds left to finish his turn, and he pauses at 11 seconds, sends it across. So expected we go 6-7.
That it's 7-6, and that then. Pair he's doing the sensible stuff. Yeah, he is just running.
He's got just under 3 minutes to do so. I guess
8 to 7.
You can clear this. As I say, you can clear the zone and do things, but I think he's
done the CP.
Yeah. So there we go. So, wow, that was so Mucha Libre.
Congratulations.
Take the championship. So a new winner again. So no one's won this twice yet. So all gas, no brakes. The winner of the original Visual Team Championship. Knocked aside from, but like with some epic plays from all comers. Like the rounds were super good to watch. Then awesome. Congratulations to Thomas, Golly, Per, Justin, and Daniel for their win. Like. Some good Warmachine action. Okay. Wow.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's much else to say.
These two games that I got to watch from Pear over these last couple of days have just been superb. The 7-1 game yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was an epic one.
And then this.
And yet people have written off Menoth. Like a lot of the Menoth players that I've spoken to,
playable
have written them off, and yet. Is absolutely like playing the best and taking names with and not with the traditional Menoth pairing, right? So obviously before the big changes, you'd see the same casters every time, and this is Fiora 4 and Sevi 1 is his pairing, right? Oh yes, the Sevi list, yeah. So yeah, super interesting to see, and. Like to see how the stats roll out of this. So if you've joined us and if you've enjoyed it, I have to. Having a cracking weekend of it, despite the little bit of chaotic influence from having kids.
Adds to it. Chaos adds to it.
It adds to the charm. I got it right. It's in the brand name, right? I can't not have some sort of chaotic clusterfuck happen. Yeah, it's been super fun, and Ben's been amazing to have joined us for both days to go through the games.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Sit in. So I'll say again, congratulations to Mucha Libre, and congratulations to like all the players that have taken part and the organisers. This has been really cool. It's been epic to watch, and yeah, kind of cool to have set aside and not played to be able to do a bit more in-depth streaming where I can do commentary rather than just run the games as they are. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, feed them social media gods, shit on likes and whatever. It's all appreciated. The games will go up. I've uploaded already all of the individual games from the league week and the games from yesterday, and obviously I'll upload this onto YouTube. It'll probably take like 3 hours because I live in the country. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again, Ben. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Likewise.
And yeah, I don't know what's next, but yeah, come and see some more. Maybe some other games later. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Good night.
Keep. See ya.